Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Revolutionary Baddies podcast.
Welcome back.
So excited to have you here. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Dee Dee.
And I am Brittany.
We are on episode number
15?
15. Yeah, I think so.
Man, we cut up in 14.
Oh my goodness. Did y'all listen to that episode?
Yeah.
When I was doing the editing, because y'all know I do all the editing for the episodes, I was in tears.
Cut up.
Like, why would we? Just from the rip, we started off making jokes about Earth Day, changing. It was a whole thread. It was just so many different funny moments.
But we covered so much.
We covered so much. We covered the Colored Farmers Association Alliance. Colored Farmers Alliance.
Food is a weapon of war.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the movement in the Mississippi Delta. Then we took it all the way to wellness. We talked about being pap ready. Yeah. We talked about the food pyramid.
Brittany now knows. Brittany is caught up on the pap ready reference.
I now know what being pap ready is. And going back to it, I am pap ready.
Yeah, you absolutely. Yeah. Same.
And we'll get into the pap ready in this episode also. Actually, there's a link. We're all linking these things together. Yeah. So we're going to have a great episode today. We'll see how much we cut up or not. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a beautiful spring day. Mm-hmm. It's hot out.
It's a good day.
We're glistening.
Glowing. Shea butter brown.
I got to go lay out by the pool later because the bottom side of my arms is getting light.
Yeah.
And my chest is light skin.
My feet are really light skin.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So something's got to change.
Yeah. It's about that time.
It's our season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. How you feeling today?
Today I'm doing good. I went to brunch with my family. I have a cousin that was visiting from Georgia. So we met up with her, brunch at Bar Louie.
Crazy.
Which is crazy, but it was so many people in there, and the food is actually really good. The food is good.
Wow! And
you can order anything. Like, they have a brunch menu, but
actually, I take that back. Last time I went, last time I went, the wings were crispy.
The wings was good.
Yeah,
yeah. The wings were good. I was like, why are we going to Bar Louie? Also, my grandma was trying to be there at 11 a.m.
The early side of brunch.
Like breakfast.
the B in brunch.
The breakfast side of brunch. Which I'm like, why I got to get moving all the way to Bride Creek.
Yeah.
To go to Bar Louie. But it was nice to see my cousin and catch up with her. And now I'm here.
Yeah. Getting the day started.
Yeah. What about you? How's your week been?
It's been good. It flew by.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it was
But I got great test results back. I went to the cardiologist the week before. I went to my neurologist the week before. And so the heart is pumping. It's looking good. All my valves are open and flowing.
Okay.
And for my neurology test results, I don't have any neurological or muscular diseases. So I'm still dealing with some health issues with my nerves, but it's nothing that's like, I don't have the big things, the things that got acronyms.
Yeah.
So,
nothing that seems like a long term.
So I got my test results back. So I'm like, glory.
Yeah.
And I got just a couple $100 of my state refund check, and I'll take any form of reparations. Give me my motherfucking money.
I will take it. Thank you.
I snatch it in the air, and it's just digitally in my account. But I do a snatch moment. Anytime I get my taxes back, I swing my hand like I'm snatching something. Give me my motherfucking money. So, that's nice. Yeah, that's I'm waiting on some more.
We also saw Juvenile in concert on Sunday.
How can we not? I gotta post that picture as a post. I put it on our stories. Me and Dee Dee got a black classic picture with our homegirl Zayna. We are in front of the Juvie picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Real throwback club, spray painted shirt vibes.
Really, truly.
It was a cute thing.
Seeing Juvie just completed a part of my feminist journey of, proudly backing that ass up. I think the autonomy to do it.
Yeah.
I felt it as a child.
And the encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was backing it up as a child. Truly throwing it. All, 90 pounds of me at the time.
Absolutely.
And so now to come back and be able to really throw it,
Right.
Full circle.
What a moment. I love that.
Loved it.
How old were you when you first went to a party?
I went to one of the little middle school parties, at somebody's house.
It was a house party.
It was a house party.
Okay.
And, we was on the floor doing splits.
Oh.
Yep.
Was y'all giving wallies?
Like grinding with somebody on the wall?
Yeah.
For sure. We was even, sorry, Mom. We was even, niggas was laying on the floor.
Yeah.
Getting a ride.
Yes.
I didn't do too much of that. I wanted to. I was a little shy, but I might have got down there about one time. I might have rocked the nigga world one time. Maybe two.
In middle school.
Yeah. I was on the step team, so I went to my co-captain's party, and her mama was one of the moms that let her have them parties where she walked away. So we was in there sweating and humping. I wasn't doing nothing else, but I was throwing it like I was a professional. I really was. So.
Wow. Yeah. I was a young party girl. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I was like 8 years old, but one of my best friends, her dad was a DJ, and they had one of them, she had one of them moms that they would clear out the basement, charge $1. We called them dollar parties in Philly.
At 8?
8, 9, 10, 11, all of that. And then the part of Philly that I grew up in, there's a skating rink very close by.
Okay, we did have Wheels. I did go to Wheels. Yeah. And that was like the club for me.
Yeah, that was definitely the club.
Looking at the guy, and when you 10, you just know that 16-year-old man, wants you.
Yeah.
Like, you think he's flirting. And some of them do, unfortunately. But yeah. That dropped me off at Wheels.
Dropped me off at Elmwood. We was right there. My mom almost never knew that I was there because we would be in there till like 1 a.m. Because it would be skating until maybe like 11 o'clock. And then after 11 to 1, it was just dancing.
Oh, giving wallies.
Giving wallies on a dark roller skate dance floor.
Are the kids doing wallies anymore? They in their phones.
No, they're not. No.
Oh, I love a wally. I'll still do a wally. What's up?
Absolutely.
I'm still. What's up? I'm still down for a wally.
Give me your wally. Give me your wally. There was like a song.
Wow.
Dedicated to it. Yeah.
I wish we could have, like, when they make the film about our lives, they're going to have to go back to when we was giving wallies, separately, Philly and Durham, and then years later.
I mean, fast songs and slow songs.
Oh, boy. One time I grinded with a guy off of ABC by the Jacksons. The DJ plays that song to, like, get people out. ABC. Easiest ones. That was the DJ playing the song, like the lights were on, like niggas clear out. I'm not playing no more club songs. I still was on the floor grinding.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Body rolling to ABC.
I remember distinctly grinding to Meeting in My Bedroom.
Ooh, that's a cool.
Did I unlock something?
Baby, who does? If you let Meeting in the Bedroom come on anywhere.
Meeting in
they
my
ate that
bedroom. Yeah. And of course, I knew all the words, every single verse.
Play it right now. We have karaoke.
I'm giving somebody a Wally. Play it right now. I'm giving somebody a Wally.
Professor X, we need to.
That's what we need to hear.
We need to hear.
I like to make a request.
Yes. And I need somebody to meet me on the wall.
Shout out to Professor X.
Shout out. Local DJ. He was doing his thing. He's everywhere.
Yeah. No, we love him. We love him.
Oh, okay. We back cutting up.
Oh, sorry, y'all. How old was y'all when y'all started going to parties?
Yeah.
Because I don't think the kids are going to parties.
They're not. And like I said, I think they're taking pictures or doing like maybe TikTok dances together, which, is cool. Different generations, different things. But sometimes you just got to be body to body.
And that's where the like consent in real life comes into practice.
Yeah, because boys could tell, like, you walk up on a girl, she turn around like, okay, you back up. You
back up, you keep it going.
Try somebody, see who it wants to consent.
Sometimes the little nigga might grab my hand and I snatch it away.
Oh, that's when I learned to start cussing niggas out. That was my training ground. Nigga, get the fuck off of me. Or just a simple pushback, like, no, excuse me, I'm good. All the things. Yeah, it gives them that interaction.
Yeah. But I feel like it gave me the opportunity to like actually advocate for myself in a very, small, kind of controlled, semi-controlled environment.
Yeah.
And there were adults there, but we was doing whatever.
Yeah. And
still.
And it's such a taboo on like wallies and dancing and being, over sexualizing children when it's really just a form of dance and like it's in our culture. I think I may have told the story before. My dad caught me like semi twerking, ringing my little hips at probably like 7 or 8 years old. And he caught me and he whooped me. And I was like, I will never stop. I will never stop. And I never stopped. I only got more skills.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Sorry, Daddy's in the house.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You can never beat it out of me, And it was so funny because a couple years later, my uncle got married and they had a cookout back at the house. And some song came on and I was like on the top of the steps, like of the outside carport area. And my aunts were like, primarily one aunt was like, get it, girl, get it. And I started, doing, I was like 10, started, doing my little dance. And, the crowd behind, crowd's hype children. So, I'm dancing. But I remember looking out in the crowd and my dad just had that dead stare. And I was like, you've been defeated. And you know it. You've been defeated and you know it.
That is so funny.
So, yeah, I think the kids need to get back to having a little fun. And that's why they don't date now. Yeah. Because ain't nothing like when the cute guy that you did consent came up and just grabbed your little waist.
Or the one that you got a crush on that go to your school.
And you're like,
and now you see him outside of school.
I'm about to get him in the craziest wally of his whole life.
That is my man. Yeah. Who is dancing with him?
I'm on it.
Just me.
She won't do it like I do it. Now they online trying to do too much in DMs and on posts.
Right.
And notes.
It's too much. It's too much. Not face to face. They gotta live.
They gotta get out in the field. We was in the field.
We was literally
men were being rejected. Young boys were being rejected in real time out in the field, and I think it helped them learn about rejection and approach.
Absolutely.
They not in the field. We got to get the kids out there, and they too embarrassed. Everything's cringe.
Yeah.
Get out there and body roll.
Get your ass in wheels. Get y'all's asses in wheels. Just drop the kids off. Just drop them off.
Drop them off. God, and now as a parent, I'm like,
I walked to the skating ring. We didn't get dropped off at all.
My parents didn't ask a thing. How maybe how was your night?
Yeah.
Fun. Picking me up from the house party. My perm is sweated out. But they were doing the same thing because they were the juke joint generation. I mean, not that old, but I mean, my parents are like, be 70. So they were in the hole in the walls.
Yeah.
Partying too.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom was definitely at the Jamaican bar, at the African bar and Jamaican bar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. At the Watusi. Ooh. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Your mama was a real one. Y'all know how I feel.
Not your kindred spirits.
I really feel like me and your mama could kick it. I really do.
Yeah, I can't wait for y'all to meet. Yeah. But welcome to the Revolutionary Baddies podcast.
We're back.
We are so back. And we're talking about, we already planned to actually talk about this, but there's been a good amount of headlines recently that makes this conversation very alive and just a very timely conversation.
Yeah. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about reproductive justice. But, you know, before we get into it, we cannot have this platform on a week like this week and not talk about the domestic violent cases that have dominated the headlines, and more specifically the murder of Black women by their intimate partner, whether it's their husbands, boyfriends, or fiancés. And it does kind of lean into reproductive justice because it's really about women and femmes having this autonomy and self-determination for their own lives, to be able to have the right to life,
right,
safety, and we don't have it. And the recent murders of these women from different backgrounds, different parts of the country, different ages, different situations, it's so disheartening. I mean, we know it. I think if you're a woman, specifically a Black woman, you know what violence is, domestic violence, whether it's you've experienced it yourself, whether you've been in a home where you grew up and witnessed it, whether you've had a family member or a friend. It's a part of our lives in some way or another.
Absolutely.
And seeing these murders just reminds you of how real it is, because our whole lives as women, we're sold this ideal that we should get married.
You gotta get a man.
Gotta get a man.
That is the life achievement, is marriage, actually.
Get the man. Get the good man, the one that you build the home with, you have the children with. He has a job, you have a job, you all have careers. And what we're seeing is that none of that guarantees you anything. Yeah. Certainly not safety or respect. Yeah. And so it's really just a lot of things that fall down when you see these cases, is that this ideal of that you have this good man, someone you do vows with, and those are statistically, if you are to be murdered by someone you know, it is your partner. Yeah. So what do we do? You know, because people are always telling Black women, well, you need to get a man. You don't need to have a baby daddy. You don't need to just be dating these men. You need to You need to get a God-fearing man. You need to do this. None of it matters. Justin Fairfax is a former lieutenant governor. Right.
I mean, pretty successful. I mean, one of the first Black men to be lieutenant governor.
Went to private school, grew up, you know, good family, 2-parent household for him, I believe, going to Catholic school, pledging a fraternity, just being, you know, this upstanding, quote unquote, member of society. And now people are still trying to hang on to that part of his legacy.
Of course.
Instead of the fact that he orphaned his children by murdering their mother.
In the house while they were there.
No decency at all towards the children. And, you know, what are we left with? Right. As a society. And the way it's treated is like, almost like a part of nature. Like, oh, that kind of happens. You know, husbands kill their wives. These murder suicides, family annihilators. There's terms for it, you know. And it's like, what is being done? Yeah. How is
What's the accountability? Because so much of the accountability relies on the criminal justice system. Right. And just like Tupac said, anybody who believes in the criminal justice system is smoking crack.
Hot off a pipe.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, the police come in these situations and they may separate some people, diffuse a situation.
Right.
Sometimes situations escalate.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately about this whole this society that tells men you can be violent.
Yeah.
In general, you can just be a violent person.
Yeah.
And that violence doesn't stop when they walk in the door.
Right.
That's why police officers have some of the highest rates of
domestic violence as well. Yeah.
You have a violent job. You carry a gun all day long, policing people. You don't just come home and just, hey, honey, right. I'm home.
Right.
You know, that masculinity, that show of masculinity lives throughout our society. It's ingrained in our young boys and normalized. And like I say, there's just no systems. There's nothing that holds anybody to account about it. And domestic violence is it's an issue it does not get enough conversation.
No. In the book that I brought, Reproductive Justice, which is about Black women, violence, and the prison system. And it's by Beth Ritchie. Yeah, it's called Reproductive Justice, Black Women, Violence in America's Prison Nation. And it's by Beth Ritchie. I haven't read the entire thing, but I've had the book for a while. She talks about the anti-violence movement, and part of what led to its end, essentially, because it was very much like about getting resources to domestic violence victims, kind of growing some of the safety nets around domestic violence, essentially. I mean, really because of capitalism and because of this particular country, that movement got swept up into responding to these violent situations using almost only the police.
Yeah.
Pretty much only the police they're the only ones in our community that have an authority to respond to domestic violence. Now, obviously, people take it, families and whatever handle stuff internally, but it ain't happening enough.
No,
it is not happening enough. It is everywhere.
And it's particularly for Black people and Black women, we're put in such a terrible position because we don't fuck with the police either. And, you talked about that on a previous episode about the contradiction of, not liking the police and Black women calling the police so much, right? But so many Black women, because domestic abusers tend to isolate them, they have no family to call on. They have no resources. And they're stuck between the position of, I don't want to see this Black man go to jail. I don't want to be the reason he goes to prison.
Absolutely.
And he is actively going to kill me if I don't call someone right now to come he's kicking in my door. He's following me. He's in the house, beating me. He has a gun. He's making threats. And there's just no other structures in place to do that. They can maybe flee, go to domestic violence shelters, but it just doesn't change the man. There's nothing for him.
Right.
And there are women who have escaped domestic situations, and years later, the man is still stalking, still obsessed, and still determined to destroy this woman's life because she has in ways challenged what he believes is masculinity and his manhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it goes back to, as Ingalls talked about, when private property became a thing, the concept of women and families became ownership. Men owned their families.
Yeah.
It's an extension
of the man of the house.
Yeah. And women are often just seen as private property. And niggas will do what they want.
Yeah. With their property.
With their property. That's truly how they feel.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's still, as you mentioned, it goes back to being in this capitalist society. It all comes back to this ideal of private property, ownership, and what power and domination means, and the need for people to maintain it, to have some sense of wholeness for them.
Yeah.
And when you threaten that, unfortunately, these men become very violent. We live in a society where we are the most armed civilian population in the world.
Yeah. Everybody got something.
Everybody got something. And when there's a gun in the home, it increases the likelihood of domestic violence by 500%. 500%. And when you leave a man, it increases the likelihood of a domestic incident by 75%. So when women choose to leave these situations and people say, well, they got to leave, that is when a woman is at the greatest risk of being killed.
Yeah.
It's no escape.
Wow.
So sending love to all of the people who may be listening, who have been impacted or may be experiencing domestic violence, and to the families and the children and the friends, of the people who, I mean, the Vice Mayor, Nancy
Metayer
in Florida, we didn't just lose a person, we lost a movement. She was an advocate.
Yeah.
She was a community member.
Four black women
and Haitians, Haitian Americans.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's advocating for this group who, I mean, we know what we owe to the Haitians, okay, right? And all of that, she was going to run for Congress. All of that ended because of whatever her husband felt.
Whatever he was feeling, going through.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't matter because prison is not going to change him.
Not at all. It'll harden him. It doesn't. Yeah.
It's not going to change him. And it's just been on my timeline and on my heart all for the past couple of weeks.
I'm waking up mad.
Pissed because there's a new one. It's been so many top headlines about black women being murdered a lot of times in their own home.
Shot dead.
I mean, in front of kids and whatever. In the same, it just is just to have that sense of darkness, and it's everywhere. It's all the time. It's constant. And I just don't think men take it seriously enough. They don't take it serious at all.
Yeah.
Let alone enough for us to actually change society. And I feel like we talked about this before, obviously, because we're feminists, so we talk about this all the time. I don't see enough just enragement. Is that a word? I don't know. But enragement about the amount of black women that are losing their lives at the hands of black men. In the end, women, we still are not the right messengers.
No.
Like, we can kick and scream and state the facts, do the press conferences, hold the marches, build the organizations, set up the domestic violence shelters, gather the resources. We will do all of that. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Any of it? Are you doing any of it?
Holding the men accountable in your lives that you
doing anything?
Because it always goes back to, like, when we talk about these statistics about how many women face violence, whether it be sexual or domestic,
right?
It's like, 1 out of 4. And then somehow you got to convince men that 1 out of 4 men, 1 out of 4 of their homies is an abuser. We're not all being abused by this one mythological Chester the molester creature.
Right. This random monster.
Right?
Yeah.
It's your father.
Yeah.
It's your brother. It's your nephew. It's your frat. It's your homie. It's your son.
It's your teammate. It's your coworker. It's actually you.
You, because you maybe don't see yourself as abusive in a lot of ways, and sometimes it doesn't have to be physical.
Yes.
Because in reading about the case with the Fairfaxes, is that going through this divorce, she was putting in divorce documents that he was depressed, he was withdrawn, he was a deadbeat daddy in the home. And apparently he allegedly bought the gun with money he stole from a fund for the kids' equestrian lessons. That's what he stole money to buy a gun in 2022. So the violence of just being, like, pretty much he's just in the home and he's there. He's completely emotionally withdrawn. He's not raising the children. he's just a dark mass.
Yeah.
And that is a form of abuse and neglect as well.
Absolutely.
And it has, once again, these are children involved. So it has a cycle.
Yeah.
And the men just kind of treat it, the way I hear people talk about domestic violence is like, don't get involved in people's relationships.
Because you never know. You don't know the full story.
I've had that happen with friends in front of me. A friend in front of me arguing with her boyfriend, getting heated. And a guy beside me was like, that's their relationship. Mind your business. And I literally told him to shut the fuck up. And then me and him got into a fight. I bit his ass and it was on. Oh, yeah. It went down.
Oh.
Car had to get pulled over. It was a mess.
Oh, wow.
It really was.
I think in a lot of ways, my dad probably would not consider himself to be abusive. But the older I get, the more I learn, and thinking back to how I felt as the oldest daughter in the house of like, why is it always so tense in the house? Why are my parents like always arguing? Like always arguing. And my mom, she's relentless. And my dad is completely neglectful and like big gaslighter. You know, so it's and then obviously things escalated. And I mean, arguably, honestly, and there is a reality where that those families could have been my family. And there is a reality that exists. And I just don't think that there are enough of us that can like just wrap our minds around that of like, that actually could have been my family.
That it can escalate.
That could have been me. That could have been my homegirl that used to always be fighting with her boyfriend. That could have been my mom and my stepdad or whatever, like whatever the case is. Like just kind of actually kind of taking in the sober and scary reality that is us. These are our people.
Yeah, these are
like these are our people.
Not these wild stories.
No.
And I mean, when my parents went through a divorce, my dad would pop up at my mom's house after drinking, banging on the door, kicking her flower pots over on the porch, and I'm watching, you know, from my room, like what's going on. And at one point, I think my brother was probably like 14. He wanted to get his BB gun. He was going to try to pop my daddy, you know, snipe him. And this is the position you're teaching violence to, you know, my brother, because he feels the need to defend his mother. And, you know, my mom having that line of like, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to call the police soon because he's got to go. Because, you know, and in ways I think that when you move past it in a family, like, you know, time goes on. They became friends after the divorce and everything once he settled down. Yeah. But there's a way in which it kind of becomes normal in your mind. Like, you don't look back at it. And I don't think my father, he wasn't really big on guns. What would it have been like if he was a gun owner? Yeah. Because he was drunk. He was upset. He was irrational. I mean, you're stomping flower pots out, you know, 1:00 in the morning. Yeah. What would have been if he had a gun in his glove compartment that he regularly carried and said, you know what, this isn't getting me enough attention. How about I just shoot her? And that's, these men are not depraved murderers walking around every day thinking about killing somebody. It's just that they have access to a weapon. They're upset. And all it takes is poor decision making, intentional poor decision making, and that's it. Then they're sitting somewhere looking stupid, like, you know, because they're getting 25. I couldn't, and they don't get rehabilitated in prisons. No. And then everybody around them is just traumatized, and they just sit and then making excuses for him because it's like he was so good before that. Right. He was so good, and he's so good when I go visit him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I believe like if my dad could, he would still be taking my mom to court for something. Still harassing. Like that was his way of trying to communicate with her when it was over. They went to court for like 10 years, 20 years. It wasn't 10. It was 20 for everything. Anything. Child support,
reducing it, custody, his pension, the house, the divorce. Literally 20 years of going to court.
Yeah.
My parents. And then when my uncle be like, well, Didi, why you don't want to get married? Excuse me? Have you seen the example that I got? Yeah, no.
No, I'm great.
I'm good.
Yeah, no.
I don't feel that there's that much of an achievement, honestly.
No, I'm actually poor. I'm not poor, but I'm not really good at being a slave. So I don't clean up as soon as I finish cooking. Sometimes the dishes sit in my sink for 2 days. I don't know. I can't be that lady for that man.
Mm-mm.
I can't, and I don't listen. I don't listen. I told men on the first date, right before they start sucking my toes, I'm like, hey, I don't listen. I don't believe in listening to men. It's against my religion. And I can never be owned. I belong to me. And I'm like, are you cool with that? They do. They be all right.
They be fine.
They be fine. But they know that's how it is. And you have to kind of like, but that's a part of my survival. Like, it's very jokingly, but that's a part of me establishing from the very beginning.
Yeah. I
will not become private property for you to dispose of, utilize in whatever way. That's not what I'm actually not interested in slavery.
You literally have to say it from the beginning.
You have to make it.
Because it's not even personal.
No.
It's not even about you. This is about me. And what I need to make sure is communicated very clearly from the jump.
I wanted to come out in my pheromones. Like, man, she smells like resistance. She smells like you could never capture her.
No, absolutely. I had a nigga come up to me. This was a couple of years ago. And he straight up was like, you look like you like telling people what to do. And I was like, do you want me to tell you what to do?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and that was what it was.
Because that's what. But you know what? The men, they're tired of faking the masculinity.
They are.
The ones I tell them to, they're like, I'll listen to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll listen to what you got to say. I'm like, clean up around this motherfucker.
Put them shelves up.
I need some things done. Can you go around my homegirl house and install something? And they be like, yes, Brittany. I'm like, undoing patriarchy one day at a time.
One nigga at a time.
One nigga at a time, man. We doing the work.
This is what I'm saying. We doing the work. We building the shelters. We do. We got the podcast.
Yes.
We reading the books. I mean, I ain't putting my hands on nobody.
No.
I
don't like that. Women, and it's songs out here with women like, I'll punch a nigga. I'm not interested in putting my hands on. First of all, I pay money for my nails. They're long. And
they are long.
When I hit it on anything, it hurts. If I'm to the point of hitting a man, he's no good to me anymore.
He got to go.
He's disobedient.
He got to go.
You're out of here.
He got to go. I've never even been in a situation close to it.
No.
Because I feel like I can smell it.
Oh, I know a disobedient.
I know a nigga that is going to have me fucked up when I see one.
Yeah. That's discernment, ladies.
I'm not to be had fucked up with. I can't.
And I don't be.
No.
Yeah, you can't be like that. I don't care how much you're going to have me kept, be your woman, you're going to claim me. No, thank you. I've said before, any man to get down on one knee in front of me, he's planning to make a fool out of me. No, get up. Get up and take me to a restaurant.
Let's finish this dessert, nigga.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing?
Get up.
Any nigga that... Wait, say it again.
Any nigga that gets down on one knee in front of me wants to make a fool out of me. I've seen men fresh out of my DMs, and then I look at their posts and they on one knee. I said, baby girl, tell him to stand up.
Endless stories.
Those tears of joy you weep now?
Oh, now you happy. Huh.
Girl, hold on. He got some more tears he gonna get out of you. He a dog. But so, you know what? It all goes into what we're talking about today,
right,
which is reproductive justice, and heavy on the justice.
Yes.
All right. So part of wanting to do this episode is to make the clear distinction between reproductive rights and reproductive justice.
Mm-hmm.
So as Black women, talking about domestic violence, we do have rights. We can call the police. We can have someone charged with stalking and, domestic violence. And the 1994 crime bill had certain protections in there giving women rights, more extended rights around domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
However, that does not necessarily equate to justice.
Right.
And real systems and structures in place that support us.
Mm-hmm.
So reproductive rights, think about it. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's going to be abortion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The ability to either have rights to contraceptives, rights to an abortion. And that's pretty much what most people think of when it comes to reproductive rights.
Yeah.
And reproductive justice is a much more expansive framework. And as of no surprise, who do you think developed and continues to build and sustain this framework? Indigenous women, Black women, and Indigenous women. Trans women.
Mm-hmm.
Trans men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody who's getting beat down on by these niggas. That's who.
Right.
And so reproductive justice, and this is according to Sister Song, who I'll speak more about, but Sister Song is an organization, and they define reproductive justice as the human right to maintain personal bodily autonomy, have children, not have children, and parent the children we have in safe and sustainable communities. So it does tie into domestic violence because once again, we want to live in homes where our children don't have to call the police.
Yeah.
Because
the parents are fighting,
dead,
or not fighting anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So reproductive justice encompasses this total life experience for women who want to be able to have just the right to say yes and no about all areas of their life, especially concerning their body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a woman's body is a powerful force. Mm-hmm. None of us would be here without it. And it's so important that we are seeing beyond our bodies, right? That's what we're often reduced down to.
Yeah.
And as we get into womanhood, we're often reduced down to childless, a mother, and we're so much more than just when we reproduce. Like, I am a mother, but that ain't it.
Yeah, for sure. And with reproductive justice, it's a combination of reproductive rights and social justice, which is really also about trying to grasp things from the roots, really radically change how we think about, talk about, and who we include in reproductive justice. And a lot of times, because of the society that we live in, reproductive justice is seen as a women's issue.
A certain type of woman.
Right. And it's only a certain type of woman. And actually, the more updated term that also has grown and helped to develop the reproductive justice framework comes from the LGBTQ organizations and movements, and how they pushed around issues that are specific to the LGBTQ plus community, which is about having children, not having children, bodily autonomy, and being in safe and sustainable communities. All of that also lives there. And so there's some core aspects of reproductive justice, but one of the big ones is intersectionality.
Yes. This is a reminder going back to a radical feminist, Black feminist revolution is that Black feminism, radical Black feminism, has always been, like you say, about intersectionality. And it's been about ensuring not only that middle class and upper class women have the ability to become elevating their careers and be girl bosses. But it's really about third world, quote unquote, women, everyday women, people, like I say, within the LGBTQ plus community, having the resources and the support that they need, especially in a capitalist economy. So following last week's episode on Black wellness, it goes without saying that our bodies are our battleground. Yeah. Especially in a capitalist society where ownership of our bodies supports a failing economic system. And so we have to always just give it up, because Black women are always here saving the day.
Saving countries, saving generations.
Movements.
Saving movements.
Yeah, because what is the right to have an abortion if you can't have a safe one?
Right.
If you can't afford one? If you can't get to a clinic because of restrictions with vehicle transportation? So the Black feminist lens always takes it back to, okay, we may have the ability to vote. We may have the ability to have an abortion or to get contraceptives. But how do we expand that access and support to make sure everyone, the person who earns minimum wage, has just as much ease and information about what they want to do? Because abortions also are bigger than just this decision to follow through with a pregnancy. It's about understanding your body. It's about your health. A lot of abortions are due to health concerns. We see that right now with the rollbacks, that there are women who have died who their doctors know that they needed an abortion. They needed an abortion, but they have to wait on a legal proceeding to clear it. And so shout out to Black feminists for always just going back to the drawing board and saying, let's rethink and expand our frameworks around these quote unquote rights that are given to women.
And what reproductive justice also does is helps us to take it out of just the individuals as well. One of the core rights within the reproductive justice framework is to parent children in safe and sustainable communities. One parent can't make a entire environment or entire community safe and sustainable. That is the role of the community to do. And so it helps to bring all of us up to speed and into question around, what are we doing to contribute to children having safe and sustainable communities? That is why reproductive justice is not just a women's issue.
Hello.
I literally this is the day after the election, the 2024 election. Kamala laws. I'm in Queenies. I'm in this bar. Shout out to Queenies. In here, talking to this guy, he looks probably about my age, whatever. So we're having a casual conversation. Then we get into talking about the election. And he tells me that this is a Black man. He tells me that he voted for Trump. And he was basically his reasoning was that he felt like Kamala's campaign wasn't speaking to him. And that so much of it was about reproductive rights. And then he pointed at himself and was like, but I'm a man, so that doesn't, he was like, that doesn't apply to me, basically, is what he said. And I was like, wow, niggas are so stupid.
Dumb.
That you would vote because Kamala's campaign did not speak to you, but a racist rapist spoke to you.
And he's dead on. And actually, that's what they mean.
That is exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
And you know what? The thing about, going back to abortion, men really look at it like a woman's thing. Now, granted, it is a woman's choice and it should remain the woman's choice.
Yeah.
But they be wanting the abortions just as much. Yeah. They don't want that baby.
Yeah.
They're like, so what you gonna do? And they really want the answer to be like, I don't think I'm gonna keep it. Oh, okay. They hang it. Oh, God, man. Thank God. Okay.
But no sense of responsibility on how we even got here.
Yeah.
Are you going to change?
What you mean you got pregnant? What? I got pregnant. This is not Mary and this is not Jesus inside of me. This was not Immaculate Conception. You laid in it.
That's what happened.
My baby daddy was like, I really didn't need to have no other children. Your exit plan was not strong.
Doesn't sound like you gave a fuck.
You laid in it like you had 20 million in the bank. Right. Now you're confused at 30 about how babies are made.
Right.
It's a wicked world out here. It's a wicked world out here.
It's rough.
Yeah. And then keep in mind when we talk about children, children are boys and girls. And everything in between. So when we talk about having safe environments for children, men be thinking, what is it, just XX babies or something? Like, y'all are coming out too. Y'all are being raised by these mothers who need support, right?
Right.
And the children are you. The big niggas with little niggas. Like, y'all need to be in supported environments,
right?
Where if your mother does make the decision, or, you know, if a woman does make the decision to have children, that her sons and daughters grow up in environments that are conducive to their well-being.
Yeah. And that is part of the decision of whether or not people have kids.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, I never became more pro-choice than after I became a mother.
Period.
I mean, once again, tatted on my chest. Because having a baby, being a single mother, I knew immediately the weight of it, and I made the decision to have the baby. So it was a decision I made. So I was cool with the weight, but I couldn't imagine having not wanting to have moved forward with that pregnancy. And my baby daddy is off somewhere smoking Newports, not doing a thing. And I'm stuck with this child, and the resentment and the harm that could cause in the environment in which I'm raising my child. Right. Knowing that I wanted to end the pregnancy and I had to move forward. Yeah. Having a baby ain't no joke. Coming home with one of them suckers is not a game. It looks cool on the movies. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. But women need to be able to decide, because oftentimes they can be left even while married. Yeah, absolutely. The nigga who got on the knee to make a fool out of me. Even while married, they are overwhelmingly left with the responsibility of nurturing and raising children.
Absolutely. And there's such a high percentage of married women that get abortions as well. Yes. Because
they're done as a couple. Right. Or like the couple, like it's a mutual agreement within the marriage. Yeah. Hey, we've got 2. I don't know about 3.
Maybe this not the time. Yeah. There is a whole world of stuff that is needed even beyond abortion access.
Absolutely. That is just the one crux.
It is just one. And it's an important one. Yeah. Like, it is an important one.
We need that, right?
For sure. And there's comprehensive sex education. I didn't get shit in school at all.
Nothing.
I think we had a like external group come to my school, and you could get tested for STIs. But that was it. There was no sex education. And this is a school that also already has a lot of moms in it. Yeah. There was a girl on my cheerleading team. I was in 12th grade. She was in 11th grade. She had like a 6-year-old.
I knew a girl in middle school was pregnant.
Yeah, she was pregnant when we was in middle school. Yeah. So it is happening. And I don't know. Well, I do know. I know. But comprehensive sex education is another piece that goes beyond abortion access. Having access to birth control. Yeah. How I need to find where the girls is getting the free Plan Bs, because them shits are expensive.
Online? I don't know.
I don't know where they getting them from, but
I got an FSA, so if you ever need one, just let me know.
Oh, okay. Bet. Yeah, keep them in stock.
Yeah. But you know what's better than a plan B? A plan A.
A plan A. Absolutely.
Get on them pills, get that shot, get that patch, get the IUD, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
If you getting down like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and, be on something. But knowing even how some people can get on birth control and they still don't even understand how cycles work. Mm-hmm. So if you don't understand what a cycle is and why it's important that you stop taking the pill on this day, pick it back up on the following Sunday, right. Just not having the knowledge about the anatomy of your body and how it works. Some people don't understand that, what I call shooting up the club, ejaculation. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. Uh-huh. How ovulation works. Uh-huh. A lot of women I've met in their 20s and 30s, I've said, I'm in a lot of pain, I'm ovulating. And they're like, oh, you're in your period. And I'm like, no, hon, I'm ovulating. That happens like a week or so after your period. Mm-hmm. That's when you get pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a window. People, you cannot get pregnant all 30 days of the month.
Right. Right.
There are still some people who don't understand that.
Yeah.
And so all of that goes into ignorance keeps people in a certain line. Right now, what we're seeing is that teen pregnancy rates have hit an all-time low. Mm-hmm. And conservatives are mad. They're like, the birth rate is declining. And it's in part because teen birth rates are at the lowest they've ever been in national history. Mm. And this is due to reproductive justice. This is due to getting young women more education about sexual well-being, contraceptives.
Right.
And the conservatives who are on one hand pushing this agenda of be married, mm-hmm. have a baby. They're actually I watched clips yesterday. They're essentially saying more teens should have babies. If you're young, just start a family. What? It's sick.
Yeah.
But shout out once again to these organizations. We have wonderful organizations, as I mentioned, like Sister Song. Mm-hmm. We have organizations like Black Mamas Matter. Mm-hmm. This is actually Black Maternal Health Week.
Oh, actually, yes.
I think this is the last day of it. Uh-huh. Who are fighting through legislation, through lawsuits, and through organizing to make sure that everyone can make these decisions for themselves. And if they do make the decision to enter into motherhood, it is a supported and healthy one that they can survive.
Yeah.
That the children can survive.
Yeah.
Right now we have a lawsuit in Georgia going on where midwives are suing the state because of restrictions that they have on midwives. Pretty much to be a midwife in Georgia, you have to be a registered nurse. Mm. You cannot have normal accreditations as a midwife where you can practice in other states. Mm-hmm. And Georgia has one of the highest Black maternal mortality rates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And studies prove that women who have access to alternative birthing solutions, so prenatal care and midwife practices have better survival rates, better postpartum experiences. Mm-hmm. And the state of Georgia has intentionally created blockades to not support Black mothers. So
getting more care. Yeah.
There is an organization of midwives that are suing the state of Georgia and hoping to be able to have more access to not just have registered nurses, because it creates more opportunities for midwives to move to Georgia and work and help the Black women, especially in some of the rural areas that need that type of support.
Yeah. And we're kind of going from reproductive justice to another form of justice that's also being fought for by Black women primarily, but birth justice. And the work of people birthing bodies having access to how they want to birth their child, birth their children.
They have us in these hospitals. Mm-hmm. And so indigenous practices have always had the knowledge and wisdom about birthing.
Absolutely.
Right? So that you often see, if you look up clips, that they talk about how women typically would birth kind of standing up, crouched down, not laying on their back. It doesn't help for gravity. It's actually makes a lot of sense that you would be more in a crotch position if you're trying to pass something, you know? And so we have birthing clinics where people either can go to birthing centers and it's less intervention, or birth at home, which people did for thousands of years. But in a capitalist society, they want you in hospitals, getting bills. I think my bill was $8,000, and I had health insurance when I had my child. And then Yali had a $2,000 bill. I said, how the baby get the bill? How she got a bill in her name? Already in debt. Shout out to Duke Charitable Care. They waived all of it. I called them and said, I'm poor. And they wiped that out. But as they should. Well, I'm doing my snatching.
The snatch.
Give me the motherfucking Charitable Care. But there is, the United States has a very high rate of C-sections. And it's about them intervening in the natural process of birth. And that actually statistically puts the mother and the child at a higher risk of injury or death. And so these alternative birthing solutions are really about saving people. There
is an act that's trying to be pushed in the government that was started. This is from last year. It's called the Momnibus Act. Momnibus, not Momnibus. That word is eating me up because I don't even know what that means. But it's anyway. It came out, was kind of launched from Representative Alma Adams from North Carolina, Senator Cory Booker, one of your faves from Jersey, Representative Lauren Underwood in Illinois. And it's a comprehensive package that's like multiple bills. That's why the word bus is in it. It's when it's like an act that's going to contain multiple bills, not just one. But essentially increasing the they're trying to do something about the maternal mortality rate. I mean, in the act, it contains bills that are linked to extending WIC eligibility in the postpartum and breastfeeding periods, not just during the pregnancy. Really providing funding to community-based organizations that are working to improve maternal health outcomes and promote equity. This is specifically focused on Black maternal health. It has 14 things in here, lots of things around grow and diversify the perinatal workforce to ensure that every mom in America receives maternal health care and support from people they trust, supporting moms with maternal mental health conditions and substance use disorders. So just a fuller kind of idea around bills that we could be passing that help with what's happening. There's things that can be done, but a lot of the change that needs to happen, unfortunately, does have to come from our government system.
Yeah. And the threat of capitalism is it's everywhere because a lot of these things make sense, right? It's like it's a no-brainer. A lot of governors or people passing bills, they're like, this is how we can fund it. Like, it's not a funding problem. Like, this makes sense. And it's like, who or what would be up against that? But there are lobbyists, as we talked about on the last episode, like from Nestle. They are actively lobbying against paid maternity leave and paid paternity leave to allow fathers to be supportive in the process, right? It makes sense that the father should get time off as well, right? And they're actively against it because they want moms to go back to work and not be able to breastfeed. So a capitalist society is like, let's get them back to work.
Because that's where we want them at.
Right. We want them being a part of the production system. And then you also have lobbyists, like I say, who work for these big hospital or medical networks that are like, we don't want women finding the better way to give birth, the healthier way to give birth. We want to continue to fearmonger people and saying, what if something goes wrong? You need to be at a hospital giving birth to your children.
Right.
And so many other things. There's this underlying politic, going back to the start of abortion rights really being under attack in America was the conservative movement had pretty much lost the segregation fight in the 60s. And they needed a new topic to galvanize people around.
Yes.
And so they knew, because of religion, they could get people, because statistically, evangelicals in the 1960s and 70s were pretty supportive of abortion rights. Catholics have always kind of had a harder stance on it.
For sure.
But the majority of evangelicals really didn't have a particular politic around it. And then they said, no, we've got to turn this into a moral issue.
Yeah.
And this is how we'll galvanize voters. We're saving the babies, right? Not voting on the legislation to support mothers and babies.
Right.
But we're going to get them here. And they were able to then build this movement that we still see today. That abortion rights is being juxtaposed as some type of like moral,
It's about family values. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's coded in. This like the concept of like family values and the consolidation of the right wing, the moderate, whether it was conservative or evangelical, or the conservative capitalists or the moderate capitalists. They were able to strategically consolidate. And that's how we got Ronald Reagan, people.
That's how we got Trump. Some people literally vote for him because they're like, I don't believe in abortion. Yeah. Trump has probably paid for like dozens of abortions of his own kids.
Absolutely.
Of his own sperms.
For sure.
And, they're like, he's more, they're aligning.
Family values. It's the family values.
Family values.
What's the value though?
Just existing.
What is the value that you see he got with his family? That doesn't even make any sense.
None. But that's how they can reel them in.
Yeah.
And so we have people blocking legislation that will actively support all mothers, but particularly Black mothers. What I love about some of these reproductive justice organizations is that they also extend into the prisons.
Oh, yeah.
Not leaving women behind just because they are incarcerated.
Yep.
Making sure that they have a certain dignity. I mean, even Tupac talked about his mother was pregnant while she was incarcerated, fighting for the Panther 21. And she was released a month before she was due. And so he was slated to be born
in prison. Right.
Assata Shakur gave birth while incarcerated.
Yeah.
And so these women have been chained to beds.
During birth. They still do that. Yeah. I think maybe in North Carolina, there was a recent win around shackling pregnant women, but it definitely still happens. Like during birth. Shackled, chained to a hard ass bed.
As if you are a flight risk.
Right.
And you're in active labor. And there's no dignity, and it is actually extremely risky. Yeah. To a safe birthing process. So shout out to Omi. It's her birthday today.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Omi Sade. Shout out to Omi from Black Girls Guide to Menopause.
Still doing the work of educating Black women about reproductive justice. But I remember when I believe she was doing work with Sister Song, I saw her. It was some clip with her talking about women being shackled during birth, and I didn't know that. So it was through that organization, through her, that I learned about it, and I'm like, well, damn.
Right.
So once again, going back to how Black feminists have built this framework, a human rights framework. They're very intentional to say that this is about human rights. It always goes into all of the corners of the people that we forget about, that we've discarded in this society, or that we don't put in our imagination when we think about women having babies.
Yeah, they're not at the center.
Right. Also, when we talk about the LGBTQ plus community, that we have people who are trans who decide to enter parenthood. And there may be someone who's trans man and they still have a uterus. They still have all the rights to want and desire to be a parent. And they deserve a certain sense of dignity when they go in for prenatal care, when they go into hospitals, whether they want fertility treatments, whatever it may be, to not be, well, oh, you transitioned, so what do you want to have a baby? Yeah. And to have that dignity not taken away from them in that process. Right. So just having teaching people who are, whether they're physician assistants, midwives, and doctors, to have a more broad and inclusive understanding of what birthing bodies may come through their doors to take that journey. Right, exactly. And another organization I want to shout out is the National Network of Abortion Funds. Shout out to National Network of Abortion Funds. I am a sustainer for this organization, and essentially it is a network of abortion funds that exists throughout the country. They want to grow to more, but they're almost completely volunteer-led abortion funds. And essentially the way that the one in Philly works anyway, is that, you call them, if you're able to get them on the phone, first of all, because again, it's volunteers, and they probably get so many requests for support, but they give direct support money-wise to getting abortions or emergency contraception, and connecting with different abortion clinics, whether it's Planned Parenthood or whatever. So the abortion funds also work directly with some of the clinics and places that offer some contraception to provide support and resources. And they had like the cutest t-shirt that they gave to like all of their members, and it said, everybody knows somebody that's had an abortion. Everybody knows somebody that's had an abortion. Maybe you don't know that you know, but you know somebody that's had an abortion. And I think that's the message that really tries to, again, it's not just about women's bodies. This is not just about, abortions are not just about an individual person. It is about humanity. Yeah. It's about our survival. It's about how we view the future and what do we want it to look like for the kids as well. But it's, we're in a society, and beyond just America, where everything is put on the woman to bear. If she gets beat, what could she be doing differently? If she gets pregnant, what could she have done differently? It's always, and I think it's a part of a larger model of, we look at the oppressed and not the oppressor. We look at the victims and not the perpetrators. And so much is reduced down to like poor decision making by women. Yeah. And because we're supposed to know, but we're just supposed to know. We're half of the society, right? So even if this is this mythological case, there's this involvement where all of us have to be involved in uplifting the teen mom who made the poor decision, the woman who dated the guy with the red flags and now she's battered. We all have to have this broader, we just lack sympathy, empathy, the ability to really, and even when we see it in our lives, men have seen their homeboys somebody need to get an abortion. They've seen their moms go through certain things. They've seen their mom struggle having 7 kids that she really didn't want or whatever. And it's like, well, shit, that was her. No, it's all of us. It literally affects all of us. Yeah. Going back to the Black wellness episode, we don't have a fundamental understanding of what wellness is and having a healthy culture, a healthy society. Yeah. And especially when we approach our medical care and access to everything. Yeah. So capitalism is the op.
It is the op. It really gets in the way of us. Honestly, it gets in the way of us being more developed as human beings.
Absolutely. Controlling bodies by keeping them
as human beings. We are getting less and less developed as a species because of capitalism.
Mm-hmm. And it intends to keep us that way.
Yeah. Because we should know way more than we learn in school. That's one of the first places where the development of us as human beings is stifled.
Yeah.
Or even sent backwards in some cases.
Why wouldn't I know that what a clitoris is?
Right.
Until I'm an adult, a young adult.
Right.
I have it. I was born with it. And nobody's going to talk to me about it.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or there's this, once again, it's these contradictions of pushing family values, purity, don't get pregnant, don't scar yourself by that. But then no information or resources to enable me not to end up pregnant. It's
right.
Such a major disconnect.
So how do I not do it again?
How do I not get pregnant? Because it is a science essentially to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So just
it's literally science.
How do I have to take science every year? And that's the one science that we're leaving out. How does that work? I mean, so many women are learning during their prenatal care about how this whole thing is going to go down. Like, wait, what? Damn, what? I got a cervix. Mm-hmm. It opens. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I got it.
Right.
That's it.
And the baby comes out.
It's a wicked world, but the call comes back to Black feminists are going to save the day, do their radical work of reminding everyone that we have intersectionality.
Yeah.
We have to look out for, once again, what is deemed the least of these, the discarded members. And through lifting them up, it literally improves the
all of us.
The lives of all of us.
All of us. We cannot have full solutions about where we think this world needs to go if we don't have a full scale of everybody.
Yeah.
Not just the people that you would expect.
We need the women who don't want to have kids to be able to not have them. And the women who do, for them to be able to survive it, have them, and raise them, and so that they don't grow up to be these women who are in situations of harm, dating men, or like I say, it goes
or
beyond.
Not even just that. The pervasiveness, because lots of violence in general is hereditary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That growing up, women raising these children, people don't just become in these situations where they're in domestic violence situations, whether it's a victim or abuser. Out of the blue, a lot of this starts where these young men, you'll talk to a lot of abusers, their fathers were abusers. Their mothers were abused. That's all they knew. Yeah.
Or their mothers were the abuser.
Their mothers were abusive. Yeah. Towards them. Towards their father. Dad. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So they grow up, and this goes beyond heterosexual couples as well.
Absolutely.
So the healthier we are, then we'll have better societies. But until we start at the very start, when life is conceived, the Republicans love to talk about when life begins. If we have better support and systems in place, we can raise healthier children. Right. Who grow up to be healthier adults. Right. Who have healthier relationships. Right. Healthier conflict resolution.
Yeah, all of that. All of that. And it's also why part of why we, again, what's so core for us in this podcast is getting as much information about how we build towards revolution. And it requires so much. Yeah. It requires so much. And I feel like the more episodes we drop, it kind of helps to just release the myth of there being one day and everybody just gonna be ready to be on go for the revolution. It's like, no, this is a process. And just reproductive justice alone, even if we got everything we are asking for, it would take generations for us as a society to have that level of empathy, like you were talking about, for everyone.
Yeah.
And not just the people that are closest to you, and not just the people you know. Actually, the people that you don't know.
Yeah.
I want to thank our listeners for being in this process with us and being just in the challenge of trying to understand all the things that we actually need to do to get to a better society.
And like say, we always bring it back to capitalism, with all the amazing work of people for now and for hundreds of years who have organized. Like you say, revolution doesn't happen overnight. These changes sometimes take generations to really set in.
Yeah.
It's all attempts to put out the little fires. Right. That the big blaze of capitalism continues to burn down in our lives. So the more we confront these smaller pocket issues, we're all fighting once again against this larger system. Reproductive justice goes into food justice, goes into abolition. It goes into police, not defunding, like abolishing the police. It all goes into these systems of, we want to create a caring, holistic society, and we're gonna have to continue to support Black women
to make it happen.
So it can happen. Yeah. Thank
y'all so much.
We've been on a ride.
We took y'all on a bit of a journey.
Oh man.
But I do want to know. I do want to hear y'all stories from when you was partying as a kid.
The Wally.
I really want to. I do want to hear those stories, and I also want to hear, like, how are people processing the headlines that are coming up around domestic violence and the murder suicides, the family annihilators, whatever. Like, how are people actually processing it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
heavy.
It's a lot. I have a quote. Y'all know I love a quote. I'm going to end out with a quote. And then we're going to go over the books we brought.
Yes.
Once I go. But I have the book of Sister Outsider with me, which we leaned on for a recent episode. But there is a essay called Eye to Eye. And it's Black Women, Hatred, and Anger. And she says in here, what other creature in the world besides the Black woman has had to build the knowledge of so much hatred into her survival and keep going? That's a question.
That's a good one.
What other creature? And in that survival and keep going, once again, homage to all of the Black radical women who have not only built it in and kept going for their own survival, but built these beautiful frameworks like the reproductive justice movement so that we can all survive.
Yeah.
Black women.
Shout out to Audre Lorde.
Shout out to Audre Lorde. We've got some books with us. Let's see. So of course I have Sister Outsider with me. Please, if you do not have it, you must have it. I also have Feminism is for Everybody. Bell Hooks talks about, the feminist movement from the 60s to the 70s when Black women, trans women figured out we have to extend this framework or kind of get it back to what it was originally about, and how that played into the reproductive justice movement. I also have How We Get Free, because how do we get free?
I like that book. That's a good one.
It's a small one.
It's small. It's easy. It's really a interview. Yeah, a series of interviews, really.
And then I have The Black Woman, an anthology, which was edited by Tony K. Bambara. It has so many amazing essays in here by different Black women, touching on the birth control pill, touching on the castration or emasculation of Black men, and how it all plays into the very things we've talked about this episode. So phenomenal work. Get that as well.
Yeah. I have with me Building Feminist Movements and Organizations, Global Perspective, that's edited by Lydia Duran, Noelle Payne, and Anahi Russo. And I believe I got this book from the People's Forum. So I think this is like their library. Shout out to the People's Forum. And this book essentially just highlights different feminist and women's organizations from around the globe. So they have the Zimbabwe women writers, they have the Korean Women's Trade Union, there's the feminist movement in Pakistan, there's the Women's Emancipatory Constituent Process for Peace in Colombia. That was a mouthful. And so it just covers a lot more than just the U.S. context, and it breaks down some of the what was the actual organizational capacity? How did they grow their base? How did they sustain through situations of immense conflict? So this is a really good book. It's not super easy to read, but I kind of will flip through it every now and then. And then I brought, like I said before, Arrested Justice, Black Women, Violence in America's Prison Nation by Beth Ritchie. So we have some goodies. We'll link them in the description notes. And yeah, thank y'all so much for listening to this very heavy but absolutely necessary episode. Have a good one.